It's another All Hoops episode as we look back to some of the biggest hardcore moments of 2023. Hello, I'm Paolo Del Rosario.
And I'm Boom Gonzalez. We've got Melissa Newsome to talk about UAAP women's basketball. But first, we catch up with the surging Meralco Bolts.
Ladies and gentlemen, we mean this quite literally. There are no days off for the Meralco Bolts as they ended 2023 with amazing games in the PBA and the East Asia Super League. Now, joining us tonight to look back at the year and the days to come is Coach Luigi Trillo alongside Brandon Bates and Cliff Hodge. Gentlemen, welcome to the game. Happy New Year.
Happy
Coach
New Year.
Luigi, I want to start off with you because 2023, especially at the tail end, was jam-packed for the Meralco Bolts. Could you tell us a bit about how you felt you wrapped up 2023 and using that as a springboard going into 2024?
Well, first of all, Happy New Year, Boom and
Happy
Pao.
New Year,
Glad
Coach.
to be on the show. Been a while. We've had games one after the other, right? In fact, our last game in the PBA, we had I think we had 8 guys who were sick. So the 2 games prior to Ginebra, we couldn't even get a practice going. But guys are fine now. We're looking forward to this new year. You know, a lot of basketball. We play Taipei tomorrow, the Kings. They're undefeated. Sayang the SK night game, we lost by 1. Didn't feel we were playing our best basketball. A lot to improve on defensively, but we only lost by 1. But, you know, moving forward, we're excited about the Taipei game. We still have a slight chance. And then we play against Magnolia, I think Phoenix and Terra Firma, so big games ahead for us.
Okay, Coach, and yeah, you did say that it's been a while you've been on the show because you've been busy. We couldn't catch you guys. Before we look forward to tomorrow and 2024, can you just give us a little bit of your summary of everything that has happened in 2023? A lot of changes, a lot of movement. And just give us a little recap of Meralco for 2023 from your eyes.
Yeah, I think, considering that we've changed a bit. Coach Nenad Vucinic is obviously our active consultant. Coach Norman's, spreading his wings. He's consulted with us, but he's more with San Beda. I think we've done pretty well. I think, like you said, we're a bit run down. The last 6 conferences, we made 5 semis. Haven't won the championship, been in the finals, but, we're always there. And then PBA on tour went. I think we did well. We ended 3rd with the injuries. And then now, we're within striking distance. We're 6-2.
Yeah.
Love that Banquero's back, CB's back. We've had to make some pivot moves with imports.
Right.
Sue Brimo was great for us.
Yes, he was.
He got his Achilles hurt. And then Zach Lofton, has been solid. We've added Prince Ibe in there in the ESL. But, moving forward, we have a chance here. I think we're the only chance that can still reach number 1. And obviously, that's a far goal at this point. But, we've got 3 games. We're playing the 2 best teams ahead. We have a lot of respect for what Magnolia does. They're, practically they've had 20 games. They've lost 1 this whole year last year. So they're solid. And then, obviously, Phoenix. Phoenix is playing good basketball too. They've got a Yanon Lang Yegs. We want hopefully, the injuries to stay away.
Yeah.
We felt we've been battling it the whole time. Guy on your screens, Cliff, has had a couple, but he's played through them. Brandon, obviously one of our up-and-coming rookies we're excited about. It's going to help as well, and we see a lot of growth from him.
Well, Coach, I'm really disappointed that Brandon shaved off his mustache so early in the season. So I'm going to go talk to Cliff first instead. Cliff, what I love about you is that every time you hit the floor, you always try. It looks like you're fatigued, but you're never fatigued. But I can now imagine maybe that's more of the case now. How tiring is it? Or what are the adjustments you need to do to juggle both EASL and the PBA? Because if I'm not mistaken, there was a stretch where you had 10 days and around 6 games or 5 games or so.
It's super tiring, honestly. Because, you're playing so many games in such a short amount of time. But I mean, we've been doing a lot of active recovery. We haven't been able to practice much, so most of it is just learning on the fly and just all mental and taking care of your body. Because when you get heavy minutes, you just got to make sure you take care of your body, get in the hot and cold, get with the training staff that'll help you get through all those nagging little injuries. But for the most part, it's just trying to do as best you can, even when you're tired. You have your teammates that'll come in and step up also. So I mean, it's tough. The EASL is like almost like a playoff game every time we play because those teams are really, really good. So, and we want to win all those games also. So we're not like taking it easy. So we're going out and trying to win every single game. And we still have 2 left. And hopefully if we can win these 2, maybe we can have a chance at getting into the playoffs in that also, which would be awesome. Because I don't think the Philippines has ever had a team do that. So that'd be great if we could do that.
Yeah, that last one when you came up short just in the end, that was a wasted opportunity. But we move on. Brandon, unlike Cliff, who's been there for quite a while already and has gone through the changes, the evolutions, the ups and downs of the team. As Coach Luigi mentioned, you're the newcomer in a way. How has the year been for you? What were your goals with Meralco, and were you able to achieve them? And this balancing act of the PBA and EASL, you come into this right away as a newbie. This is a very unique situation for you.
Look, it's a massive change because I started in the 3x3. Coming from half court back to full court, it's a little bit of it's an adjustment. And I feel like recently I've gone through that adjustment period. It's a wonderful experience, and it's a good chance as well. Like, not many other rookies, or if any other rookies, are getting this opportunity, to play both the PBA and EASL. So it's good to just build up my experience, and then, that's right.
Cliff, I want to go back to you before we go back to Coach, because you're going to be one of the guys, I'm sure, who's going to end up checking Jeremy Lin tomorrow. Of course, a lot of people excited for that one in particular because the Taipei Kings, who are still undefeated. You mentioned going hard every single game, but then how does the team stay mentally checked for that? Because it's one thing to go hard every single game, but then you're also thinking about maybe that Magnolia game coming up and that Phoenix game coming up. How do you guys make sure that you're checked all for that?
Well, usually we always just focus on one game at a time. Whatever, if it's EASL or if it's PBA, we'll do our due diligence, learn the teams, learn the things that we need to do to try and get a win. So a lot of it's on the coaching staff and them coming up with the game plan that will have us prepared. Going against Jeremy Lin is a good experience, but I feel like with each EASL game that we get to learn these teams a little bit. It's not like the PBA where most of the guys you're playing. With EASL, you're playing like a new team each time, so it's a little bit of adjustment. But I feel like with each game that we played all the teams that we played now, so we're almost know what we can do to do better next game. So I feel like we'll have a really good chance if we come out and we play really hard that we'll come out with the victory tomorrow.
All right, Cliff, thank you. Coach, since we mentioned it already and Pao already alluded to it, we'll end with you. We've already heard about the players' take on tackling both the PBA and the EASL, especially from a physical standpoint. Very different from a game planning, preparation, balancing act, which is a new challenge for you also and the coaching staff. Can you tell us about that, and can we end this conversation and by giving us the challenges of preparing for both leagues that are very different from each other?
Yeah, we have to separate PBA from ESL. I think guys have to be more locked in terms of what we're trying to do. I think the change here is when we've been traveling home and away, and the time frame that you have to get things done. But we as a coaching staff, we try to keep it as simple as we can. We want to highlight what we're trying to take away from that team and what we're trying to give up, and what advantages we can have. So, I think getting our message across to them is key. Guys also having to play heavy minutes from one game to the other, that's another thing, right? So we see, like, if we have a heavy game, the next game we play, we might have to use more of the bench once in a while. That comes into our minds. But This is different. With ESL, you're using more two imports. In the PBA, you have one import, right? And I think the main thing that I've noticed with us is if we can get healthy, because the lineups change from game to game, right? So my prayer for 2024 is I hope we can get a complete lineup. Nu's been out too. He's been hurting. He's going to be pivotal with him there, probably not playing tomorrow. We hope he can get better. Aaron Black's not going to be there too. And these are things that as a team, we just have to accept. We have enough on our plate that moving forward, we can still get the job done. So if there's no Aaron and no Nu, we expect CB, we expect, Diego, we expect all these guys to step up. And, looking to it, I think it's a blessing for us. We're so grateful and thankful that we've had this opportunity. Again, it should be Ginebra and Talk and Text. They ended up 1 and 2. We ended 3rd. But, we relish this, we welcome it. And, for us, our goal, just our short-term goal, no team has won 2. And there's a lot of pride here for Philippine basketball. Obviously, the game boom, Pao, is different because our league, the rules are different. We don't have 4 imports and an Asian import. So we have to pivot with that. But knowing that our kababayans, our last game, it was such a great pleasure to see them come in. And, we have popular teams in the PBA, but for them to come and support, we know that game tomorrow, guys are going to be excited about that. It's Jeremy Lin, but at the same time, we need to take care of business. That business is to win the game tomorrow, and hopefully we can do that,
Coach.
for Kababayans.
All right, Coach, I'm just going to cut you off there and give the schedule. That'll be tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the Phil Sports Arena for the next EASL assignment. Again, Meralco, good luck. Hopefully health goes your way as well in 2024. Thank you very much for spending time with us.
And Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you. All right, we'll move over to the historic UAP women's basketball as we continue our Rewind series. Keep it here. You're watching the game. Welcome back to the game. Now, if there's one phrase that could capture what happened in the historic season 86 for the UAP women's basketball, it's probably expect the unexpected. So, let's recap the unpredictable yet totally exciting UAP women's season with one of the amazing rookie analysts that we had all season long, Melissa Newsom. Congratulations on a great year for you personally. A wonderful job for the team. And thanks for joining us tonight. Happy New Year. Now, the road to the finals and all the things that happened leading to the finals was exciting. And just when you think that cannot be beat, we get that exciting 3-game final series. Let's start with game number 1. Give us your thoughts on that exciting finish. UST breaking, that streak of National University wins in that season.
Yes, Boom. If you hadn't watched women's basketball prior to this season, you definitely been missing out. And this season was one of the best seasons to catch up. UST gave NU a run for their money, and like you said, they created history, and it was so fun and exciting to watch. And even myself, as an analyst, each and every time these two teams met, I didn't know who was going to win.
It was only a 2-possession win here for UST. 76-72 was the final score. And it was also the first time UST beat NU all season long. It felt like if there was a time for UST to find their groove, it was for that moment in particular.
Yes, for sure. Even in the regular season rounds, they had fallen to NU twice, but each game was very, very close. And I think UST just needed to figure out how to close out the game, and that's where they fell short. And in game 1, I definitely think they figured that out.
Yeah, I remember watching that second round game between UST and NU, and I felt like, UST had that body language. We're there.
Yeah,
we're right there. We got them. But, obviously NU still won by a point. What was the difference in that game number 1 for you? How did they pull that off in the finals of all games?
Oh, it was a total team effort for sure. They had, I believe, 5 players in double digits in that game, and that's huge for UST. They're one of the top 3 teams in bench points, so for 5 players to step up big in that game, I think that's how they were able to pull that win out.
One of the reasons why the series is so entertaining is because NU came back to fight. Now, in game number 2 in particular, it was a huge comeback victory for NU, and it felt like the usual suspects made the impact here.
Yes, and I knew NU was gonna make. They were gonna take game 2 for sure, because I knew they weren't gonna go down without a fight. We had CC, of course, stepping up big. I believe she had 18 points in that game. And one thing I love about CC is also her leadership. So she stepped up big, and she told her team, we're not gonna lose this game. And they fought back and forced it to a game 3.
Right, and then that end of game number 2 would have been a UST win, a UST comeback too, but there was a game-saving defensive play there that assured that we would have that exciting game number 3, which ended up as a come-from-behind historic win. Now, tell us what your thoughts on that game number 3.
Oh, I got to watch that game live, and
me too.
It was a roller coaster of emotions for sure. I'm sure everyone watching, if they saw that first half, they definitely thought NU had it in the bag. UST was down by as much as 14 points,
but right?
Yes. But come that fourth quarter, UST, they decided like they're not going to lose this game. And I think it was really behind one of their seniors, Tantoy Ferrer, and she stepped up big and she started a run for them, which carried them out through the fourth quarter.
So I want to go and focus on one moment in particular here. We had a couple, but then we don't have as much time. So let's go to the moment where Invillasin had that fast break layup to take the lead. Because if we take a look at that moment in particular, as we roll that clip here in just a bit.
Let's watch it again.
I mean, Villasin coming in and scoring here, as you will see in the top on your screen in just a bit, it felt almost, I don't know how to say it. Look, she stutters there just for a bit, just to make sure that she's not too quick. And there she is, right place, right time. And according to her herself, she said that she wasn't even sure if it went in until she heard the crowd roar.
Yes.
I mean, like, what a moment there for the UST community.
Again, not only a roller coaster of emotions for people watching, for those playing as well. And UST, they've been number 1 in fast break points, and that showed right there in that play, which wound up winning them that game. And it shows the team chemistry they had. They knew who to hit, and Nikki just getting the job done with that layup.
What a comeback. It was furious, and the crowd was so into it, especially in that fourth quarter. That was an amazing atmosphere at the Big Dome for game number 3. All right, Melissa, please stay where you are. Actually, don't stay. We're going to walk around.
Yeah, going to walk around a bit, and you're going to find out why. Because after the break, we'll talk about some individual standouts also from the UAAP women's basketball. So stay tuned. You're watching The Game. Now, we talked about iconic events. Now, let's move over to moment makers that stood out in the UAP Women's Basketball Tournament. Now, with my partner, Boom, is Mel Newsome over at the big board to give us her all-time UAAP, rather all-season UAP Women's lineup.
Yeah, her.
Yeah,
so
hers.
This is her choice. And her first choice wasn't in the mythical selection. Ooh. Tell us who and tell us why.
Yes, for my first pick, I chose Jasmine Hosan. You know, I got to play with her, so a little biased there maybe, but I think her numbers talk for her as well. She's grown and matured over the years so much, and I picked her particularly because I wanted to fill that point guard role, and I think she is one of the best point guards in the league, and she knows how to facilitate well as create for herself.
So your pick here, remember with the UAP mythical selection, that's really statistical based. This one you have a lot of the intangibles part of it as her the selection, who played her final season, by the way. And be interested to hear her thoughts also in the coming season for the games. All right, let's go to the other choice that you made from UST this time.
Yes, for number 2, I picked Kent Pastrana, and
course.
I think anyone would be crazy not to include her in your top 5. I like her particularly because she's a two-way player. We all know offensively she's dangerous. She could shoot from the three-point line. She could create inside as well. But she's also, I believe, in the top 5 in steals as well. So I like that she's a defensive player and an offensive player as well.
All right, top 3 in steals for that matter, 4 in statistical points, averages of almost 18 points, 6 rebounds, 2 and 3, 2 assists and 3 steals. Kent Pastrana, who assimilated herself here in UST very well. Tantoy Ferrero, what a series and what a year for her.
Yes, not only a year, what a career.
What a career, correct.
Yeah. Another player I've gotten to play against, and she's improved so much. Again, she came off an ACL injury, and she beat the timeline for her return, which just adds to, the storybook ending for her career. And she got that Finals MVP and the championship just to put the cherry on top.
She really wanted to play this year, obviously trying to recover of something that a lot of people cannot pull off. But she did, and she played well. And as you said, the cherry on top, of course, is the MVP. Now, she's a veteran. You also picked somebody who's new, right? And who was that?
Casey De La Rosa.
Of course.
And she's not so new anymore, but it's still mind-blowing to know she's only a sophomore, but now she's going to be going into her junior year. But Casey, she's just been dominant every single year. And I actually picked her at the 4 spot. She's traditionally a 5, but I think if we see her at a 4 spot, she has really good handles. She has good footwork. If she could extend her game a little bit, I think she's even more dangerous than she has been.
It's funny because a lot of people say that she's probably one of the most hyped players in the UAP this season. I think based on her performance this season in particular, very well worth the hype.
Yes, for sure. She lives up to the hype, and she continues to prove so.
And this with not a lot of bench support this year for her. So the numbers are really amazing for her. All right, let's cap it off right now. Who was your last person in this list?
This was Josie Caputo from FEU. She another dominant player inside. And again, one thing I liked about the bigs this season in the UAP is they didn't just stay on that block. They had a bit of more operational area, and her operating area was from that elbow. And I love that little shot fake she does, drive to the basket. And once she puts that ball down, there's no stopping her.
Just a hypothetical thing, Melissa, just to end this conversation. What would happen if these 5 played together? Come on, paint me a picture.
I think it would be very hard to find a team to stop this 5 right here.
You would want to play with this 5, would you?
Yes, I would. That'd be so much fun.
Coming off the bench, Mel Newsome. Again, appreciate you, Mel. Really love that list, and cannot wait to see what's next for those still in the league next season. Really appreciate you.
And Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for joining us. And thank you for joining us. I'm Boom Gonzalez.
I'm Paulo De Rosario. This has been The Game.